Okay, so another of the more technical aspects of a squad leader's role is the placement of map markers. Now, as of 0.9, the commander is limited to the number of markers they can put on the map for everyone to see, and therefore it is fallen on squad leaders to place these markers. So what this basically means is squad leaders can put down big red markers, so everyone on the team can see the location of enemy infantry or fire bases or other points of interest. And as with the fire bases, this is done using the squad leader radio or cell phone. As we can see in this footage here, and this is done by again equipping the cell phone or radio, and then this time pressing Q for Quebec. This brings up the communication rows. Once this is done, you need to center the communication rows on the object of interest. So for example, in this footage I have spotted an enemy HMG emplacement, which therefore means there's an enemy firebase nearby. So having spotted it and put an accurate marker down on its location, I can then equip the radio or cell phone, Q for Quebec to bring up the communication rows, and then center the center of the rows on the marker, which I know is accurate because I just set it. And once that marker is centralized, I can left click on set distance and set the distance to the nearest value to the distance of the actual marker. So for example, if it was 240 meters away, I could walk backwards and forwards until it was near enough 250, and then left click after set contact distance, left click 250, or right click to make it 300, or what have you. Once the contact distance has been set, you then need to let go of Q and press it again. So just tap it off, tap it on again without moving the mouse. Once you've tapped Q on and off, you can then select the type of marker you'd like to place. So after you've done that, you can select whether it's infantry or tow emplacement or what have you. It's also worthwhile to just move back or forward a step before finally putting the marker down to ensure that the marker is accurate. That way you've placed your marker on the map using the standard marker everyone in the squad can see. You've then set the contact distance and ensured the angle is still correct by not moving the mouse, tapping Q, and then selecting the right marker for the map, after which everyone on your team will be able to see what you've placed. So the final technical aspect of squad leading I'd like to talk about is the use of T, the command rows, and the squad leader radio to set predefined orders or predefined requests, and these are used for inter-squad communication for requests for things like support, close air support, supplies, ammunition, and that kind of thing. And when you use these predefined default options, as well as having a sound that everyone around you can hear, a yellow marker is placed on the map, which everyone on your team should see, and then hopefully a suitable squad will respond and give you assistance. So for example, if you were defending an area and you needed reinforcements because you were going to die and going to lose a flag, or if you needed crates dropped by a helicopter or a transport or logistics squad, then you could equip the radio again, T for Tango, to bring up the options, and then left or right click on the option you desire, such as asking for reinforcements, asking for supplies or ammo, and this would give a message to the rest of your squad who might then be able to come in and help. Furthermore, especially when dealing with helicopters and things like that, hopefully a squad who can help will respond either by typing, or they'll give the default affirmative negative options to the page up, page down. You can then type out any further instructions, such as your location, what area is safe to approach, or even telling them what colour smoke to look for. And you can throw coloured smoke down, which the squad leader gets on the roofs and things like that. Finally, one of the default options you have for support requests is for CAS, close air support, and this is things like A-10s, Cobras, Hueys, Little Birds, that will provide heavy firepower to take out priority targets, things that infantry can't really take care of themselves. And calling for CAS has several discrete stages. The first stage is when you'd use the squad leader radio to give a default request for CAS. You get a little yellow symbol, after which hopefully you would get the squad running CAS, that kind of thing, would respond affirmatively. Once that was the case, you would preferably type out your location and what the target was. If you wanted to have further accuracy, you could then place a CAS marker on the actual target. Now, unlike the support requests or the squad markers, to place a CAS marker, you do not need to use the squad leader radio. Instead, you will use the GLTDs. These are effectively the binoculars squad leaders get for conventional forces, default 7, and you would use them like the communication rows for the radio, similar thing, but with the GLTDs. So you would look at the target, left click set contact distance, and then tap Q on and off, after which you, instead of requesting certain types of support or what have you, you instead request a certain type of CAS, so guided missiles, cannons, bombs, and things of that nature. So you have used your radio or typed out a request for CAS, given a grid, and if necessary placed a marker on the target using your GLTDs. And so now hopefully the CAS vehicle is inbound and they've let you know they're so many seconds away, they're on the way to the target. And now is the time to laser the target. This is done using the GLTDs, but now instead of using the comm rows, you simply need to left click on the target. This should make a small green box appear, which basically means that a laser beam has traveled from your GLTDs and is designating the target with pinpoint accuracy for whatever guided munitions the CAS vehicle may use. This green box stays for about 30 seconds. And there are two other points I'd like to make about these green boxes used for the laser designation. The first is that it's possible to laser moving targets. This takes a bit of practice, and it's done by lasering the ground in front of them. So if a tank was driving down a road, you'd laser a couple of meters in front of the tank, and with any luck, the laser designation will be picked up by the tank, and therefore it's possible to hit a moving target. The second point is that it's possible to counter laser. So if you have your GLTDs out and you see that your infantry or your vehicle has been lased, if you then laser in a random direction, the bomb may become confused effectively and land somewhere between your laser and the supposedly accurate laser placed by your enemy. Although this is possibly somewhat of an exploit, I'm not too sure, to be honest.